There's a bit of old news here, but I feel I have to talk about it anyway. Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles movie has been delayed over some script problems or whatever reason they're giving. I'm hoping it's the script problems because it just sounded horrible. I've been a fan of Ninja Turtles since the 80s. Anybody who grew up with me will totally testify to this. Elementary school, I was like the worst turtle fan you can actually imagine. It was quite terrible. Making the Ninja Turtles aliens is a terrible idea. A terrible idea. But you know, anyone who's watched Ninja Turtles or read the comics since the 80s also understand that aliens have always been a part of that series, at least the cartoon series, which differs from the comics quite a bit. But aliens have always been there. I mean, like, it happens. They're always fighting alien invasions of one kind or another, whether it be like, you know, dimensional beings or, you know, things not from Earth, let's face it. It's always going to be there. But the turtles themselves have to be from Earth, you know. They can't be Ninja Turtles. Ninjutsu is from feudal Japan. There's no one from space who's going to know that. Unless, you know, ancient aliens gave Japanese jujitsu or ninjutsu or all kinds of jitsus of some sort.
Let me go, you Martian creeps! We're not Martians! We're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Oh, and that's supposed to be better?
Every version of TMNT that's ever come out, there's been changes to the original story. Even the 80s cartoon isn't original. I mean, if it was, and you know, while nowadays it kind of loses its appeal, it's not as great as it was back then. There are two very important things that came from that series, which I wish they would keep going with. One, you know, obviously the different colored bandanas for the turtles. I mean, that's a great thing to keep, you know, because you can tell them apart. But the best thing that series ever gave us was a different origin for Master Splinter. It's far more easier to believe that a ninja master will turn into a rat than it is to believe that a rat can learn ninjutsu in its cage looking at somebody. I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous to a whole new level. I mean, yeah, you want to take some sci-fi goop, turn it into some turtles, and teach her ninja. Yeah, that is ridiculous, but at least it's based in something most people can comprehend. But you will never get people to comprehend that a fucking rat you buy at a pet store will learn ninjutsu from watching its master and from its cage. That is fucking ridiculous, and that is the best thing that the original 80s cartoon ever gave the TMT universe. It gave it more plausibility, and I thank it wholeheartedly for that. And for those paying attention, you may have noticed the new Nickelodeon cartoon trailer was released. Not sure how I feel about that one yet. I'll give it a shot just to see, because, you know, once a turtle fan, always a turtle fan, and I don't recommend anyone form opinions until they've at least seen it. Although, based on the trailer, I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't really go much into the origins or anything like that, but the look of it looks kind of hit and miss for me. I don't know, I'd say it looks a little too ridiculous overall, but that's just first impressions. You know, I'm not sure what Splinter's going to look like, whether it be the brown Splinter or the gray Splinter. Personally, I prefer the brown. It just looks more like a rat. Shredder, you get a small glimpse of him. He looks kind of badass. I can get behind that Shredder. Let's just hope he's competent, because, you know, hero's only good as its villain, let's be honest. In the 80s, Shredder needed a little bit of work. They still seem to keep the pizza aspect in the new cartoon, which is good, I guess. You know, but it's kind of good that they've trimmed down the amount they consume as of late, because, you know, as a victim of the 80s cartoon, you know, I've eaten a lot of pizza. I mean, look at the size of me. It's, you know, this is one of those things, you eat pizza, you know, every week and you're gonna get fat, like me. I don't eat it every week now, but I'm still pretty big because I used to always eat it before. But I don't blame turtles for that. I just, you know, it's just one of those things. Another good thing is at least they seem to have their weapons, but that isn't an issue anymore. I remember when the original movies were released, there was this big outcry from parents after seeing the first movie that the turtles were, you know, too violent. They had weapons, these horrible weapons that are even illegal in some countries, which, you know, is fine. But, you know, when you're talking about stuff on movies and TV, you gotta let that stuff go, man. I mean, seriously. But, you know, weapons are good, you know. In the first movie, they had the weapons. The second movie, they caved with the parents, and, you know, they were, you know, Michelangelo was using fucking pepperoni or salami or whatever it was. He sure as hell wasn't using his nunchucks. Leonardo, I think, was the only turtle to use a weapon in that, and he fucking threw his swords in the ceiling. Donatello was pretending like his bow was like a pool cue or something, and you know, it was ridiculous. And a lot of people hated Ninja Turtles 3, you know, because there was no Shredder. It was kind of different. There was no actual villain, recognizable villain for the fans of the TV series. But you know, all in all, I have to say they brought back the weapons, and it was violent as hell. And you know, the dialogue was bad, but it was so nice to see them back with their weapons, because ultimately, you know, you take the weapons away from the turtles, and it's just not the same thing anymore. And I guess I could say the same thing about the pizza. I mean, pizza is what makes them them. They love the pizza. But I certainly would recommend to the viewers that, you know, they're cartoon characters or movie characters, comic book characters, they like their pizza, that's fine, but, you know, don't become like me, take it easy on the pizza. You know, I also like Garfield and lasagna. Let's just say anything with Italian food, it makes you fat. Just be careful, because, you know, it can be avoided. But yeah, but for turtle fans all over the world, you gotta give it a shot. It's nice to see them being popular again. Even the new video game Lollipop Chainsaw included a song by Toy Dolls called Turtle Crazy. Hilarious song, hilarious game. Not that great, but yeah, it's fun. But it's nice to see that that the Turtles are still making some sort of impact globally, and let's just hope Michael Bay doesn't screw them up too bad. You know, not all of his movies have been bad. I think he's gone downhill ever since joining with Spielberg. Back in his Bruckheimer days, he could get stuff done. I don't know if it was Bruckheimer keeping him in line, but Spielberg, in my opinion, has lost his mind in the last decade, and, you know, him and Michael Bay are just crazy. They're worse than Spielberg and Lucas, I swear to God. What he did to Transformers is terrible, but I'll save that for another video. This is a turtle video. But, you know, I'm not a hater of Michael Bay. I just hope that he goes back to his roots. I know he's not directing, so it's not that big of a deal. Fans just want to see something they recognize. I mean, it's good to update it. It's good to make them look realer and funner and action and comedy, but if you make them into something no one's going to recognize, or something, if you change their origin stories too much, you know, people are just going to, like, you know, be angry. But I digress. As everything else, I will not judge this film until I see it, and I will see it. I will pay to see it when and if it ever is finished. If it comes out of its hiatus. But ultimately, you know, Turtles, hopefully they're here to stay. Hopefully they're going to make another movie regardless if Michael Bay's involved or not, because another live action viewing of them would be very welcome, considering it hasn't happened in a really long time. Hopefully I'll be making more videos and vlogs soon. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the music channel, and I'll see you soon.